A religion is a collection of wisdom sayings in which the adherent is compelled to follow due to belief in supernatural powers greater than the current reality he or she experiences. Hello, hope you're all doing well. Lately, I've been following Greg K and his enjoyable video logs for about a month now. Truly, they are honest expressions, and if I could just let him know that I'm grateful for all his efforting. Also, if you wouldn't take them down as they are public record or some other better word for that sort of contribution, which I've also said the same to other YouTubers who do such things too. Well, to begin with, I came across Greg K via a response video that inventor/disposable gorilla made called Pwnage Greg K and Rape, in which he dressed down Greg K's objections to people praying for him. To describe this video in a single word, inane, the gorilla pointed out that there is a contrived method of prayer located within the book of Matthew. But not to digress here, please read it on your own without religious eyeglasses on to see what that author desired out of someone's prayers to God. Greg K objected to people stating that they're going to pray for his soul, to which he likened this to spiritual rape. Now, let me explain who Greg K is. Greg K is a radio personality. He interviews adult video stars, porn stars. He interviews wrestlers, professional wrestlers. He had his own show. I believe he moved on from that job. But he had his own show where he spoke about the occult and spirituality, I imagine. Greg K is a person who can speak extemporaneously, while I obviously cannot. So he's a talent, an on-air talent. And I was thinking, that struck me, really, what is prayer? And I always told myself, well, prayer is just expression. So it led me to think, what if I had to entertain somebody for an hour with my prayer, an audience for an hour with my prayer? And I decided it would just pretty much devolve into like a Jerry Springer-esque self-humiliation show, a confessional. But like when you confess to a priest, you really lay yourself open to humiliation of all the stuff. So I thought, well, why don't I just categorize prayer? I came up with 5 categories of prayer, but the first one really, I wouldn't even call it category. It's like the root of all prayer, which I decided to call basic expression. It's something that even an atheist and a theist can partake in these things, prayer, because they're not really aimed at a deity. They're more like broadcast out into one's reality. I'll give you some examples, please. You're driving, you get missed being T-boned or something. Somebody misses, so you say, "Oh, thank God I didn't get hit," or maybe something comes back like a HIV test negative. "Oh, thank God I don't have AIDS." It's not really aimed at a deity most times. When people use this, it's just a basic expression that's broadcast out into what one's feeling at that time. So just the other 4. Let me go through each one. Proclamation or political prayer. It's the famous thoughts and prayer acknowledgement, from the president. So hence the name of this video, Greg K in Thoughts and Prayers. Like a statement about society, something that's going on in society. 24 innocent children get machine gunned to death in America. So our leader says the children's parents are in his thoughts and prayers. It's a basic acknowledgement that can be extrapolated all the way to a highly constructed proclamation just like this one. Lord, protect our fighting men and women within your holy light from the enemy. That your typical base chaplain proclaims at any U.S. military unit's departure. Of course, the aim is sharpened as per the prayer's intricacy. It's a political statement to us because it more often than not describes something within our experience, our reality. The next category is prayer of regret and forgiveness. These prayers are typified like so. God, please forgive me for doing this. Or, I'm sorry, God, that I did that to her back then. Always followed by some rationale. These prayers are aimed, I would say, but are always gauzy enough for a non-theist to use on occasion. Ergo, they are very close to being only mere expressions, as when some painful experience crosses your thinking all of a sudden. The final 2 categories are very similar. The first one is what I call a coercion prayer, or an invocation to compel someone into the faith. It was this type of prayer that upset Greg K. You can envision a prayer circle surrounding him and then the laying on of hands to cast out the doubtful demons. And you can extrapolate it all the way to an exorcism formula. So, what it is an unabashed psychological pressure upon him. I think being the object of coercion prayer is very much like being an attractive woman who's constantly getting hit upon. Why should I say that? My YouTube channel is a Bible study channel, so I get messages and comments asking me to get on my knees and open my heart to Jesus, change my mind. They're praying for my soul, my spirit. And something to consider is if that person is just talking to themselves, reinforcing their own beliefs with the coercion prayers towards you. Sometimes the needle does hit zero, though, and you have that reflexive reaction like Greg K did. I would encourage people to read 2 Corinthians 5, and at best both Corinthian epistles, to see that thinking behind evangelical Christianity, the body of Christ colony creature thinking. It's organic, it's much like the Borg out of Star Trek The Next Generation. And finally, as I said earlier, the manipulate reality prayer is similar to the coercion prayer in that it's now trying to compel reality itself towards the believer's own ends. Praying for the wind to stop blowing so hard, praying for daddy to come home, or as Christopher Hitchens said in that debate with the rabbi, I believe the last time I prayed was for a hard-on. It is the expression of your own wish thinking aimed at your preferred supernatural agency. So can prayer be avoided? Should prayer be avoided? Or perhaps we all just hang tight until those whiz kids invent prayers that do actually work for us. I say we maintain the concept, but always admit that right now it is only that, a concept. Tomorrow never knows.
There's no stopping what can't be stopped. No killing what can't be killed.
Something out there waiting for us.